upper bracket, lower bracket maths.
It is so janky, and those are the kind of setups that really like just leave such a bad taste in players' mouths. And I know the fans are like, meh, but you got to give an advantage somewhere. And spawning down in the Platinum Esports colors, saved it. It is eGGz.
And up here in the top left-hand side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. He is our Brazilian Erik. Aha, I got you there, Mapu. You thought I was about to say his name there. You zoomed in on Brazilian. Representing Cranky Ducklings.
Brazilian.
I just love messing
Ducklings.
with Mapu. Mapu is the most fun to mess with.
I like it. It's definitely. How funny would it be if he just now refused to cast the game? Like, you just like put the camera in the corner and he's like.
Indy's done that before, I think, at a home story cup.
He just
yeah, exactly. He just went off to the corner. Said, I'm not gonna observe the game.
The way he did the slow pan, as though he just literally left it on the side, and as though it started drifting on its own. That was actually skillfully done. That was an artful meme right there. Something kind of cool here we're seeing out of Erik is specifically what he pioneered himself, and has kind of taken the Zerg build order nerds, myself included, by storm. And that is the Extractor Trick 15 hatch. So he was the player who came up with it. He used it to defeat Dark in back-to-back weeks in the ESL Open Cup. And then took his ball and went home and said, I'm not playing Dark no more. What are you crazy? I have a 2-series win streak against him. Why would I ever play another series against him? But yeah, it was a lot of mind games came out of this. It kind of revolutionized Zerg versus Zerg play for a little bit, and then Zerg versus Terran play, and then Zerg versus Protoss play. It's kind of slipped back into less common play, but it's cool.
Yeah, it really is fun when such a basic form of a build order, where it's not, oh, we have this timing attack or some cool build order playstyle or something that comes out 10 or 12 minutes in, you start to see the deviations or some kind of innovation there. It's, no, this is the first minute and a half of the game, something that has been mapped out, played out thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times, and someone comes up with a way to innovate it. Like, that is truly an impressive feat.
Yeah, because the knock-on effects for the rest of the game are madly profound. You get your hatchery 10 seconds earlier. You get your queens 10 seconds earlier. It costs you a couple drones. Obviously, you have to... in terms of opportunity cost, you wouldn't be mining with as many drones right away. And the bigger thing now is that in order to mitigate that, people are taking later gases, which is meaning that your ling speed timing is now delayed a lot of the time. But it's
Speaking
still...
of ling speed.
Yes, we have a double gas opener here from eGGz. After going gasless, it did get scouted by Erik, and now we've got a full wall at the front representing a 2-base build while building ling speed. This could be a couple of things coming in from eGGz. It could, of course, just be like +1 roaches, but it could also be mutaplay off of a ling flood. Could even be +1 carapace. There's so many things that this could be, and it's going to be really difficult to read for Erik. A lot of mind games at play here.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult and annoying to scout. So, Erik, we're going to have to keep an eye on where those overlords are, when he's going to actually catch wind of something. Drone is making his way over to the third base, and an overlord for Erik will spot out that third base timing, which I think is at least a little bit helpful. But it's just continued ling production right now, and Queen is continuing to push back those overlords. It's going to take even longer to actually see the ling flood moving across the map, because they're going to try and circumvent these. Actually, no, okay, never mind. Goes underneath the overlord, so it does get seen.
Well, the good thing for Erik is he was already building roaches off of 43 drones. He does get caught out a little bit here, but with a few more roaches popping out, this should be just fine. Oh, that's a very nice Ravager morph right there. Even just forcing the lings to spend a little bit more time on that is obviously good news for Erik. More lings flooding across, but behind this, it is a transition into roaches. And this is already, I would say, very well defended here from Erik. Even if that trades pretty well and he gets a queen, which he does, knocks the queen count down to 2, roaches are not the craziest in terms of larva intensity until you have like 66 drones. This is fantastic, actually, for Erik. He's got a much faster +1 missile, which is a better quality upgrade than the +1 carapace. He's got the layer. He's got a small worker lead. I like everything about this. And eGGz, as has just been scouted now, is only on hatchery tech. This has to do massive damage. And as soon as he saw that there was only hatch tech, fires up 3 spines. Great read from Erik.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really tough for eGGz. Like you said, he has to get a ton of damage from this. And it's not even that he just has to get a ton of damage. There's no running away because, like you said, no roach speed for eGGz. Erik is going to have his own roach speed soon. So if you overcommit and you find you can't do anything over here, you're going to get chased all the way back across the map by speed roaches.
That you are. He didn't even really need the spines here. Corrosive Bile actually landing on a few of eGGz's own lings. Of course, the +1 carapace for eGGz nullifies the +1 missile, so the lings do not get two-shotted anymore. They go back to being 3-shotted. But Erik has that defender's advantage. He read this setup very nicely, and now there's that roach speed completing. eGGz is absolutely been held, and this attack has been squashed. He's going to try and drone out of it, but Erik just feels so far ahead right now. And if he just goes with 1-1 roach, actually, I don't even know if this is possible to hold.
It's going to be certainly very, very tough because Erik is already sitting at nearly double the supply right now, or army supply of eGGz. And if both of these players are just making non-stop roaches, but one of them just has a 1-1 upgrade advantage, then, well, in theory, Erik should even be able to overcome any kind of defender's advantage with the faster reinforcing roaches. Like you said, it's going to be very, very tough for eGGz to try and make this defense happen, but we'll see what he can muster because he certainly isn't giving up just yet, despite the roaches moving across the map.
This is quite interesting because Erik got himself a little bit supply blocked. So he starts out +2 missile. He's actually got a ton of gas in the bank for a situation like this. Is electing not to go for Ravagers. But he's just going to go for it. Yeah, and I think he's got too much. A little lane counterattack in the main base will distract, but he is losing overwhelmingly at the front. And Erik is just going to be able to blast through with this 1-1 roach counterattack. There's no roach speed on the way, nor is there enough roaches to deal with this anyways. And we are going to see a Game 1 victory for Erik.
I just want to also say that, like, not only, of course, did Erik win the game, he didn't lose any drones to that lane run by.
Oh, wow.
Like,
that's
not
impressive.
a single drone went down. That was kind of amazing. Yeah.
That is very impressive, actually, because it looked like it was going to get some value. Even
there
with
were
the
like
+1
8 or 10
carapace.
lings there. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets into an exposed mineral line. You're like, that should find at least 2 drones. Like, if it's just the drones fighting, even with the help of a queen, it's usually going to be a couple. But it goes to show that Erik was up to the task of multitasking against that. eGGz, he went for that very committed attack. It really didn't get anything done. And Erik just calmly swatted it away and wins on the counterattack. Even with him not committing super hard to that counterattack and getting supply blocked, that should tell you how far ahead he was after he defended that attack.
Yeah, he absolutely was. Talking about just how he defended the attack as well, I think you were pointing this out, though, is that there were multiple possibilities of what could have been coming out there from eGGz, and Erik still just kind of identified at least a safe pathway of making a handful of those roaches relatively early on. So the time that he technically saw exactly what he was facing off against with the lings making their way through the center of the map, that would have been too late to start reacting and start flooding out a ton of roaches. So he picked a really nice middle of the pathway build, and it worked out just really, really well for him.
Yeah, it certainly did. And as a result, he finds himself up 1-0. And these players are both at 1-1, right? So neither player will be eliminated. Neither player.
I was like, Steadfast, you just said that he was up 1-0. How could they both be 1-1? Yes. In the round robin, both of these players are sitting at a 1-1 score, which means there's no elimination and there's no like advancing the playoffs for either one of these players. eGGz did have a pretty fun bracket of playing Nina and M. Canning, two just disruptor lords, basically, of North America. Lost to Nina and beat M. Canning, whereas I believe it was Erik ended up losing to Cham in his ZVZ, but then beating Foxer in ZVT.
We cast that M. Canning series versus Erik and the ZVT versus Foxer. That ZVT versus Foxer, if you're going to watch one game, I mean, it's probably going to be one of the PvPs, but if you're going to watch a ZVT, that one was so freaking close. And really, really came down to the wire. A cool tech switch from Erik barely edged out the game for him there. But we got to get into this one because we got something spicy coming up here, spawning up at the top right with what appears to be an 12-11. It is Cranky Ducklings' Erik.
It's 12:56 right now for me, though.
3:56 for me.
Yeah, I know. Starting down here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. He is eGGz.
And
Platinum Esports, and yeah.
He's going for a 17 hatch, which is a little oopsie, because he made his extra drone. Oh, is he?
He has minerals for it.
Oh my god, that's so late. That's legitimately about 12 seconds late from when he should have built that.
I'm confused because it wasn't like he wasn't selecting the drone. He had the drone.
He was like clicking it around.
He had 100 mineral. He built up until 100 minerals. Was he waiting to see? No, there's nothing he could have been waiting to see, right?
No.
Like, I guess maybe Ling's moving across the map. No, Ling's or a 12 pool wouldn't have been done.
That is really, really bad for... Oh, I gotta put this score. That is really bad for eGGz for a lot of reasons here. One, you don't get the queen production started up right away, so that's going to be 10 seconds later. Two, you don't get the armory on the setup, although it looks like Erik is going to be trying to sneak around with these Lings, but the armor won't kick in until about the 210 mark, so these Lings are still going to be able to find value. This is really rough right now for eGGz in terms of trying to defend his hatchery. The only thing I'll say is this might look like a pool first, but why would you...
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but now the drone pool is going to happen. The hatchery is already at lower than 50% hit points, and not that much time has actually been bought so far. He still needs to buy more time. 4 Lings have finally popped. A few more Lings are going to be popping out at that natural soon, but the fight is already taken, and a couple of drones have already fallen. 4 drones going down, and there's still so many Lings left over for Erik.
Yeah, this already evens out the worker count and Ling speed. This was not a Ling Bane all-in. This is, in fact, a Speedling expand behind this. Erik already evening out the worker count. His opponent... Oh, no, God. He doesn't get the wall up. He went for the quick Baneling nest. That means there's no Ling speed on the way. Now, this shouldn't end the game, but it can still find a couple drones here and there in addition to what it's already found.
Yeah, even just forcing all these Lings right now for eGGz to chase him around, continue to find a few little pickoffs here or there. Even if you don't find drones, you're actually softening up the Ling count, which in and of itself is also giving you a little bit of a defensive advantage of knowing my opponent isn't actually being offensive with their Lings. They can't really get anything done right now.
Oh, and even getting one drone right there, that's what, like 8% of the economy? That's so much.
Lings making their journey across the map right now, Dave.
Yeah, this is an all-in. And he doesn't have Ling speed. This is so committed. How many queens do we have right now for eGGz? Or pardon me, for Erik? Just one, but he's about to be at 2 and very soon after 3. Oh, and there's a spine. Yeah, this ain't working.
2 spines.
Well, there's 1 spine done.
Yeah,
second spine in production. The thing is, like the only way he could lose is right now, before the additional queen comes online, before the spine crawler could finish. This is just not going to work.
Yep. Lings are going to have a hard time busting through the queens before really most of the Banelings are taken care of. Even if they did manage to run by after killing off those queens, the Lings don't even have speed, so they will get very, very easily caught. And that is going to be a total shutdown on the aggression. eGGz is now stuck on 1 base. He's trying to drone up behind this, but I don't even know what the I don't think eGGz knows what the transition is. Erik takes the 2-0 victory there after a very, very effective 12-11.
Yeah, not a common build, to say the very least.